Well, I mean, as the Buddha said, we are all the heirs and the owners of our own karma. And so much as when we see people doing things which are not helpful to themselves or to others, we would like to change them and show them the right way to act. Even the Buddha himself could not do that. I mean, he would show, he was there as an example, but if people wanted to follow, they followed. And if they wanted to hear him, they heard. But if they didn't want to, then they would carry on the way they were going. And so I think we have to recognize that however much we might want to show people how they should be acting or point out to them the error of their ways, our ability to really be able to function in this capacity is limited. I mean, even great lamas sometimes have sons, especially sons, who go astray and become alcoholics or whatever. So even though you're brought up by an enlightened being, it doesn't mean you're going to end up having enlightened activities. And so what can you do? I think the important thing is not to feel that it's your responsibility to live somebody else's life. And also that sometimes people, when they're younger, especially, make lots of mistakes. But when they get older, they understand that those were mistakes and get themselves together. I mean, I'm at an age where a lot of my friends were hippies in the good old days. And I mean, some of their accounts of what they got up to in those days would really, but now they're absolutely lovely people. They got themselves together, they raised families, they were socially conscious, and they eventually came to the Dharma. And they learned by those mistakes, and they learned from all the stupid things which they did at that time. So, I mean, none of us are hopeless. And we're also not helpless because, people can learn. And so, I mean, you see people doing things they know they shouldn't be doing, and it causes problems for everybody. But I think that you shouldn't take that as being something which everything is impermanent and changes, and they also could change, but you're not going to change them, right? We have hard enough time trying to change ourselves. We, in the end, can never change anyone else. They themselves have to make that decision, right? So it's not your responsibility to change them because, the more you tell them what they're doing wrong and tell them how they should be acting, the more they will not do what you tell them to do, because human beings are stupid. So you have to accept that. But in our stupidity, slowly, some people learn and some don't. This is samsara. I mean, this is one of the points that people never seem to remember. This is samsara. And samsara, by its very nature, is difficult, right? It is not a pure land. Well, it is a pure land, but we don't see it. And so in the meantime, it is a realm of great difficulties, but that very struggle could be exactly what these people need eventually to come out on the other side, or not. The thing is that you yourself cannot do anything. You can be an example, but anything you say, they won't hear and will probably resent. And not to feel guilty about that, right? Because we cannot lead someone else's life for them. They have to be free to lead the life that they are going to lead, make the mistakes they are going to make. And that's part of their journey. But you can't walk their journey for them. You can't carry them on your back. You have to allow people to walk and stumble and get up and walk some more on their own. I mean, if they need help, you can hold a hand out. But if they're not asking for help, they won't accept it. And we have to accept that that's how, we cannot always be there helping other people unless they wish for help. If they don't, then this is their journey. And this is what they have to go through to learn. And if they don't learn in this lifetime, maybe they'll learn in future lifetimes. So my feeling is, dear, don't feel that it's your responsibility to transform these people from what they're doing into something that you think they should be doing, because that's not going to happen. And to accept them as they are and love them as they are, and be ready to be with them if they need help. And in the meantime, step back and just allow them to manifest themselves how at this time is, where they're at. And just love them anyway. But quietly, don't think that, we can. I mean, as I say, it's hard enough changing ourselves, try and change others. Forget it. Do you understand? Your love is for who they are, not for who you think they should be.